Hi guys, to be absolutely honest, I've just about had it with projects here aboard the boat, for now at least. But like some of the comments suggested on the video from yesterday, if I don't paint the engine bed now, I won't really have the opportunity anytime soon, hopefully. So I got up early this morning and started prepping the surface. I think I'm about a third of the way there. I've sanded just about half the engine bed using some 120 grit sandpaper. There are a lot of curves here, so I've done that by hand because I just think that's the easiest thing to do. Unfortunately, the last half of the engine bed is way in there, so that's going to be the real fun part. On the upside, I've just run out of sandpaper, so now I get to take a break and go pick up some sandpaper. Thusly resupplied with sandpaper, the fun can continue. I've spent 4.5 hours prepping the surface in there, and now I've reached the intersection between I want a good result and I really don't want to be sanding anymore. So I've just finished wiping down the surface with some of this Biosol. This of course is one of these free samples I got from blackbearboatingandleisure.com. To do a bit of a comparison, I cleaned part of the engine bed using regular old acetone, and well, this is just as good if not better. So thumbs up to Biosol. Now all I need to do is mask off the areas in there where I don't want 2-part epoxy primer to end up. The next step is to mix up some paint. Now that I have some 2-part epoxy primer mixed up, I better go ahead and apply a coat to the area up here. The first coat of primer is on there now, and it's starting to look pretty good. I'm glad I decided to paint it, but there's still a lot of coats to go. The last thing I need to take care of in relation to the mast is to fix these connections. Now I have no idea if the way I'm gonna do this is the best possible way of doing it, but it sure is a connection that I trust more than these things. Well, this is not gonna work out. This wire over here is raw copper. It's corroded, and that's why it's black. And I won't be able to solder onto this. Now this wire over here is tin copper, and that looks brand new, and I'd strongly suspect that these are the exact same age. I guess that's why they recommend that you use tinned wires for marine applications. I was aware that the wires inside the mast were raw copper, so I have them on my to-do list to replace them with tinned wire, but that's not gonna be this year. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, just about had it with the boat projects for now, so that'll have to wait till next year. I wanted to show you guys this. This boat was totaled in an accident and was sold for scraps by the insurance company. It's kinda sad to look at, but on the other hand it's fun to see a boat cut in half. Apparently a owner of this boat thought at some point in time it'd be a good idea to use styrofoam as insulation, which of course is a horrible idea. I suppose I could just cut a slice out of this boat and just splice that into Obelix. That way I can have a bigger boat. This is coming along nicely. I can't apply the second coat yet, so let's go ahead and take care of some plumbing first. I showed you guys this yesterday. This would allow me to connect the hose from the bilge pump to the drain from the cockpit. Oh, that was on there really good. For now I've just coiled up the hose for the bilge pump, and I haven't put any hose clamps on here either. Before I do any of those things, I want to make sure that I have enough hose available down in the bilge. So there's plenty of hose, that's good, but what's not so good is in this section of the bilge. There's diesel and oil down there from when we removed the engine. Now that I have access to the bilge, I want to go ahead and secure this bilge pump. There are several ways of doing that. I've seen some people use a piece of plywood that they adhere to the bottom of the bilge, and then they screw the bilge pump into that piece of plywood. That to me doesn't seem like a good solution because plywood rots. So I'm simply just going to use a bit of Sikaflex to adhere this directly to the bottom of the bilge. Unfortunately, it seems like we've lost the last bit of daylight. Luckily, that's an issue that solves itself. It's just a matter of waiting a little bit. That was a roundabout way of saying that today is the next day.
I spent last night sleeping out in the V-berth. I sealed myself in with a bit of plastic and some tape, and I think I'm perfectly fine. I can at least still do simple math, and I don't think I hear any voices that are not supposed to be there. The reason I didn't end this video last night was because I wanted to show you guys the engine bed with the first coat of top coat on there. So let's get busy. This is the top coat I'll be using. I've never tried using this stuff before, so this should be interesting.
Okay, that's the first coat of top coat on there. I think I need to apply 3 layers of top coat. Now we play the waiting game. It's gonna be roughly 8 hours until I can apply the next coat of top coat. And I don't want to do any projects inside the boat while the paint is setting up, because I don't want to kick up any dust that's gonna get trapped in the paint. I don't have any more projects to do on the outside of the boat, so I guess I'll just grab my laptop, head over to the marina, and start editing this video. Hopefully in the next video you'll be able to see the finished engine bed, and I'm probably also going to start painting the engine in that video, so that's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Okay guys, that's it for this video. See you! Jökull and I hope you've enjoyed this video. To be notified about new content, please click subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I suggest you check out the introduction playlist. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and feel free to leave a comment.